Welcome to Tim's TV. Today we are going to talk about the problem in Syria and the Syrian refugees. Now, we had a refugee program for Iraq that had to be suspended for 6 months because terrorists were getting through. Luckily, those terrorists were arrested before they killed anybody here in the United States, but it showed that terrorists were getting through our refugee program. Now back to Syria. We created the problem in Syria, primarily President Obama. He called for regime change in Syria, wanted to overthrow Assad, the legal leader of a country, provided money and weapons to the Syrian rebels, which eventually turned out to be ISIS. Now, the only way to stop ISIS in Syria without sending in American ground troops would be to publicly support President Assad, reunify Syria, and let the Syrian government destroy the Syrian problem, which is the Islamic State of Syria and Iraq. Or sorry, I got that backwards. The Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, ISIS. So, if Syria was a solid country, like it was before we undermined it, you wouldn't have ISIS. So maybe we should support Assad, support the Russian support of Assad, and allow the Syrian government to end the Syrian problem. That would be the best way to end ISIS without getting any Americans killed. But if you continue to say that Assad has to go, if Assad goes, Syria just turns into one gigantic terrorist state. Then what do? It's not going to fix itself. You're going to send in government troops, U.S. ground forces, to stabilize Syria after you destabilize it? That's just asinine. Why not allow Assad to stay? Assad was never our enemy. Assad's never been linked to any terrorist attacks or potential attacks against the United States. Assad was never a problem for the American government or the American people. Assad should stay. It was never our fight to overthrow Assad, and overthrowing Assad is nothing but a danger to the United States because A, we're interfering in another country's issue, and we're creating a terrorist state where a stable government that was peaceful towards us used to exist. What did Assad ever do to us? What did Assad ever do to Obama to cause Obama to try to overthrow him? Nothing. Assad should stay. We should support the Assad government. We should do everything we can to stabilize the Syrian government and allow them to wipe out ISIS inside of their own border. That is the way to defeat ISIL without American ground troops. And we owe Assad an apology. Hopefully the next president will take that position. You're watching Tim's TV.